the Tunisian authorities then concerned about Libyans crossing into that border. Tell us about the measures more specifically that they're putting in place there at the border.
Well, relations between Libya and Tunisia are good. Libyans can come across without a visa. That's why we've been a bit surprised the fact we haven't seen that many Libyans coming across, and we've been told it's because of its heavy security presence on the other side, also barricades. What we've been told of what is happening in Libya, just in towns close to this border, is burning and looting, militia on the roads, stopping people, not only just ordinary people who are armed, but also security forces as well. So a lot of concern about what is going on.
Thank you very much, Nazanin Mousheri, reporting there live from the border between Tunisia and Libya. All right, let's turn to other world news now and go straight to our Asia Broadcast Centre for the latest on the earthquake in New Zealand. Here's Divya Gopalan in Kuala Lumpur. Divya.
Thank you, Foley. At least 65 people were killed as hotels, churches, offices and homes were crushed after a 6.3 magnitude quake hit the city of Christchurch. A state of emergency has been declared while the airport and parts of the main hospital are closed. Gas and power has been cut, and residents have been advised against drinking the water. Now, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the epicenter was 10 kilometers southeast of the South Island city, just 5 kilometers underground. The port town of Littleton was badly damaged, and tremors were felt more than 300 kilometers away in Dunedin. The quake struck at lunchtime Tuesday, that's 10 hours ago, and rescue operations are still underway. More than 200 people are feared trapped. Some 600 Army personnel and police officers are joining the 1,200 emergency staff who are already there. We'll get an update on those efforts shortly, but first, Azhar Sukri has this report.
Part of a building collapses, narrowly missing some pedestrians. And a house-sized boulder crushes another structure.
The floor is trembling.
New Zealand television captured the moment the quake struck the country's second biggest city of Christchurch. These pictures were recorded during one of the many aftershocks which badly damaged the city's cathedral. Residents described the terrifying moments after the quake struck at lunchtime and their attempts to escape damaged buildings.
Down and landed into the third floor and kind of didn't really know what happened, and then I heard some people screaming out which were on the second or third floor and managed to pull them out.
It's the second time in 5 months that Christchurch has been rocked by a powerful quake. September's magnitude 7 earthquake caused widespread damage but no deaths. While this event wasn't as powerful, it was closer to the city, meaning it caused worse damage.
I don't think we can go past the fact that we may well be witnessing New Zealand's darkest day.
Broken water pipes flooded many streets, and power and telecommunications have also been badly affected. Some services are slowly being restored. Several buildings caught fire and helicopters were used to try to put them out. Emergency workers are trying to free many people trapped in vehicles or under buildings, but the rescuers are reportedly stretched to their limit. Christchurch residents were still rebuilding their lives and businesses after September's quake. This latest tremor has knocked the city back yet again. Azhar Sukri, Al Jazeera.
Well, Campbell Roberts is the National Director of Social and Community Services at the Salvation Army, and he joins me on the line from Wellington. Campbell Roberts, thanks for speaking to us. Firstly, what is your assessment of the situation and what is the Salvation Army doing there?
Well, it's incredibly dangerous situation still at the moment, with many people trapped, many people in trauma. Most of the city hotels and central area has been seriously affected. So tonight there are a number of rescue centres throughout the city. Salvation Army is part of the civil defence organisation that's putting those centres together. Tonight we've fed over 2,000 people in one centre, and in another centre 500 people. A lot of people, those are visitors to the city, tourists, whose accommodation hotels have been so badly damaged they're unable to stay in them.
Talk to us about the provisions that are being made for many of the people that have been evacuated. I understand many people are being told not to go back to their homes.
No, well, of course, many of the homes are already quite seriously damaged because of the previous earthquake, and some people have been living in houses which have been quite difficult anyway. This has just finished them off, as it were, and so we have a lot of situations. So people are living with other relatives. Some people have been moved out of town. Tonight there's a lot of very temporary accommodation being given to people. People needing to be together, obviously a bit worried about being alone. So it's just a matter of scraping together whatever we can at this stage until we get other resources into Christchurch tomorrow morning.
Campbell Roberts on the relief effort that the Salvation Army is doing. Thank you. Foreign ministers from the Southeast Asian body ASEAN have been holding emergency talks to resolve a bloody border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Fighting erupted on February 4th at a disputed land close to 11th century World Heritage Site temple. Now, at least 11 people were killed and dozens injured. Sporadic shootouts have continued, and there's a heavy military presence on both sides of the conflict zone. Well, the special meeting is being hosted by ASEAN Chair Indonesia, and our correspondent Step Vassen joins us now live from the capital, Jakarta. Step, what's been happening today?
Well, it was quite an unusual meeting here at the Foreign Ministry in Jakarta because there's been a long-held principle of non-interference among the Southeast Asian nations. But because there was this armed clash between Cambodia and Thailand and it cost lives, the Security Council actually had their concerns spoken last week. So Indonesia literally dragged the two parties to the table and invited all the other members of ASEAN to speak about the conflict today. And actually, for the first time, those two parties, Cambodia and Thailand, after they've been shooting about this disputed territory around this 900-year-old Hindu temple, have actually agreed for a third-party involvement. So Indonesia has offered to send military observers to this disputed territory. They will go to both sides of the border. The details will be still worked out in the next coming days. Already clear is that there will not be any sanctions that Indonesia can impose. But of course, for Indonesia, this is important because they always have been wanting to be a peacemaker in the region, and this is their chance. But at the end, now Cambodia and Thailand will have to solve this dispute among themselves because Indonesia, as it says, will only be an engaged observer.
Step, thanks for that update. Step Vassen live for us in Jakarta. Well, that's it for us here in Kuala Lumpur. Now I'll hand you back to Foley in Doha.
Thank you very much, Divya. Our senior weather presenter has now joined me to tell us about the weather. Of course, New Zealand's now reeling from an earthquake and possibly could be affected by a tropical cyclone now in the region, Everton.
Yeah, that's right, Foley. We've got a cyclone which is very close to New Zealand at the moment. It's around Vanuatu.